The Diary of Samuel Pepys, 11th of September 1660. At Sir William Batten's with Sir William Penn, we drank our morning draught, and from thence for an hour in the office and dispatch a little business. Dined at Sir William Batten's, and by this time I see that we are like to have a very good correspondence and neighbourhood, but chargeable. All the afternoon at home looking over my carpenters. At night I called Thomas Hayter out of the office to my house to sit and talk with me. After he was gone, I caused the girl to wash the wainscot of our parlour, which she did very well, which caused my wife and I good sport. Up to my chamber to read a little, and wrote my diary for 3 or 4 days past. The Duke of York did go today to the Downs. The Duke of Gloucester is ill. The House of Parliament was to adjourn today. I know not yet whether it be done or no. To bed. The 12th of September 1660. Office Day. This noon I expected to have had my cousin Snow and my father come to dine with me, but it being very rainy, they did not come. My brother Tom came to my house with a letter from my brother John, wherein he desires some books. Barthel, Anatom, Rosin, Rom, Antic, and Gasend, Astronom, the last of which I did give him, and an angel against my father buying of the others. At home all the afternoon looking after my workmen, whose laziness do much trouble me. This day the Parliament adjourned. The 13th of September 1660. Old East comes to me this morning with letters, and I did give him a bottle of North Down ale, which made the poor man almost drunk. In the afternoon my wife went to the burial of a child of my cousin Scott's, and it is observable that within this month my Aunt White was brought to bed of 2 girls, my cousin Stradwick of a girl and a boy, and my cousin Scott of a boy, and all died. In the afternoon to Westminster, where Mr. Dalton was ready with his money to pay me for my house, but our writings not being drawn, it could not be done today. I met with Mr. Hawley, who was removing his things from Mr. Bower's, where he has lodged a great while, and I took him and Will Bower to the Swan and drank, and Mr. Hawley did give me a little black ratoon, painted and gilt. Home by water. This day the Duke of Gloucester died of the smallpox by the great negligence of the doctors. Little note to that entry, a ratoon was probably an Indian rat and cane. The 14th of September 1660. Office Day. I got £42 15 shillings appointed me by bill for my employment of secretary to the 4th of this month, it being the last money I shall receive upon that score. My wife went this afternoon to see my mother, who I hear is very ill, at which my heart is very sad. In the afternoon Llewellyn comes to my house and takes me out to the meter in Wood Street, where Mr. Samford, Will Simmons and his wife, and Mr. Scobell, Mr. Mount and Chetwynd, where they were very merry, Llewellyn being drunk, and I being to defend the ladies from his kissing them. I kiss them myself very often with a great deal of mirth. Parted very late, they by coach to Westminster, and I on foot. The 15th of September 1660. Met very early at our office this morning to pick out the 25 ships which are to be first paid off. After that to Westminster and dined with Mr. Dalton at his office, where we had one great court dish, but our papers not being done, we could not make an end of our business till Monday next. Mr. Dalton and I over the water to our landlord Vanley, with whom we agree as to Dalton becoming a tenant. Back to Westminster, where I met with Dr. Castles, who chid me for some errors in our Privy Seal business. Among the rest, for letting the fees of the 6 judges pass unpaid, which I know not what to say to till I speak to Mr. Moore. I was much troubled for fear of being forced to pay the money myself. Called at my father's going home and bespoke mourning for myself for the death of the Duke of Gloucester. I found my mother pretty well, so home and to bed.